And that's the official title, New Jedi Order.
Yeah, it's the new Jedi. It's NUNU. It's the new Jedi. But yeah, so the five of you, the five of you lock the ship and you head into town. And along your journeys, those of you that haven't been on the streets of Corellia, Corellia is a planet very much like Earth. I would say it's very representative on Earth, except it is perhaps a bit more lush and jungly than what we would understand Earth to be like. The difference is you're in the capital, which has not quite the vast city world that Coruscant does, but it is spectacular in its design. Skyscrapers that go up, thousands of feet in the air, and the constant noise and bumble of speeders flying back and forth along their designated lanes. Down on the ground level, well, you guys probably aren't even on the total ground level, to be fair. But down in the market level in the area that you're at, there are quite a bit of people moving back and forth. Corellia is a very busy, bustling world. It has a lot of activity going on at all times of the day. The people of Corellia, Corellians themselves, they like to exist kind of at a hyper pace compared to a lot of the rest of the galaxy. The people themselves believe a lot in always having something to do. Like, if you can do something, go do it. Don't relax. And that's shown in their everyday lives. There's people constantly coming back and forth and moving to and fro, and public transit is very, very busy all the time. And it's pretty crowded out on the streets during this time of the day that you guys are kind of midday-ish in Coronat, the capital. And as you guys are moving through, some of the goals here are obviously to go register the ship, to go
someone mentioned Jameson. Why the hell would we go there?
To register the ship, to go obviously get some junk parts and stuff. And I think that this probably can be seen through a montage of scenes. I don't think a lot of it has to be really worked out, except for the fact that Jax, there is something specific that you want to do besides doing the things that the rest of the party wants to do, right?
I also have one thing that I want to do besides the rest of the party.
Cool. So we'll go around the table and see a scene that everybody wants to have in downtown Coronet. So Jax, we'll start with you. You have a mission or transmission or some type of contact that you need to meet, right?
So I have a question about this.
Yeah.
Due to Jax's background, how would, I'm trying to get more information, I guess, the Arcanist background. Would I want my name on a registry for a ship, or would I want my name to be slightly less linked to anything?
For the registry of the ship, it wouldn't matter too much.
Cool.
So because ship
mostly registered to me, not all of us.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, they might want their names on it, which is totally fine for them to do, because it creates a certain problem where if something happens to the ship, multiple people will be responsible for it.
I can take the blame, no problem.
But yeah, that's the thing, is if Dash, you want to put your own name on it, and maybe that's a conversation we should have, who wants their name on the ship and who doesn't.
Yeah. So that's
because the other thing is, having a ship in your name, even if you're a part owner, gives you a bit of credibility when you're dealing with other people, right? So if somebody were to look up your credentials, they would be like, oh, he's a property owner, right? Be the difference between owning your car and leasing a car, or owning land and not owning land.
All right.
It gives you a bit more flexibility when it comes to dealing with business related and political related things.
So I'm thinking that Kin would have a special interest in us.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not droids normally don't own property.
They definitely don't.
So he'll turn to Mouse. Mouse, I want to own I want to be a owner of the ship.
I mean, if you want to put your name on it, that's fine with me.
Yes.
Well, Dash speaks up. Well, technically co-owner, but I don't know. He actually looks at the group and he kind of this kind of did kind of like becomes curious, like what would everyone think when they see a droid registry? Would they say like, is this kind of a joke?
So
because of the different shit that Jax and Kin went through on the derelict ship, Jax goes, if Kin wants to be a registered owner, I think he should be.
Yeah, and Kin definitely stands up a bit straighter. He looks a bit more threatening suddenly.
Yeah.
Dash.
So
why would you? It's not like I insulted you. Jeez, calm down. But this is not a character thing.
Yeah. So what about you, Zian? Because Zian has some particular feelings towards, I think, this subject in general.
Yeah.
Do you comment at all, or do you just kind of like lean back and?
He also knows not to like
involve himself,
spout out stuff when it's not really called for.
Sure, absolutely, makes sense.
I forget you hate droids, don't you?
I don't hate droids; they just don't exist in the Force, so he doesn't see them as real beings.
Yeah.
Anakin understood R2. I don't care about the bad example. He's a good guy, at least.
Yeah.
At least in Clone Wars. At least I like Anakin.
Yeah, he was a good 10-year-old kid. You're right.
But Clone Wars, he was a good guy as well. You care?
No, he was not.
I don't think so. No.
He killed a bunch of children. He killed a bunch of children.
What about Ahsoka?
I mean, she just barely exists. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Ahsoka is canon. No, none of that.
You're right. She is canon. That's true.
You know,
she is,
eventually,
but she barely exists. Nobody cares about her.
The eventuality is that Anakin is going to have to kill Ahsoka, right?
Yeah.
I thought he already did in like the last season of Rebels.
No.
I stopped watching Rebels.
A small part where she was walking into the so she's still alive. Plus, the maker kind of had a tease where he had a shirt that says Ahsoka alive with a question mark, and then Ahsoka alive with an exclamation mark. So he's basically teasing that he's saying like she's alive. Calm down.
Yeah, because everybody loves her for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Well,
but anyway.
Kim will, as I said, stand up a bit straighter and look threatening. So.
Yeah.
I'm part of the team. I need to be part of the register.
No, I agree. Like, Ken, you're definitely a part of the team, and like you can register. Like that's your right.
Yeah, 100%.
I just take the straight up as just like presenting, and I'll just he'll take the straight as just like puffing his chest and say like I'll take that as not threatening, and I'll say, well, I'll need to put something down as kin, I guess, because
that's his name.
K1NN.
Yep. K1NN.
Oh, I mean KINN, because I don't think they'll take K/YNN.
Getting slightly annoyed at the situation. Jax looks at Dash and just says, "Try."
Yeah, you gotta try it.
Yeah, because like the deal is we're not going to, especially the Star Wars universe, they're not going to discriminate against someone's name, right? Have you seen some of the names from Star Wars?
I haven't seen one's names.
There are things much crazier than K-1NN.
Yeah.
Also,
like an actual name being called Dash. I know one person that's actually called. I looked at it.
Also, this is kind of a question of identity. Like,
yeah,
you know, K1NN is not trying to become like a person. Like they are a person. Like that's
right.
their conceit. That they're not trying to be like a human. They're a living, breathing. Well, not breathing, but a living sentient droid.
Right.
So changing their name on the registry to Ken instead of K1NN would be like
offensive.
I want to be a real boy.
Yeah, it'd be like a Pinocchio sort of deal, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Be registered correctly.
Yeah, so So Dash, you're
Dash holds up his hands and say, "All right, don't blame me if they tell me to like give proof." Just saying defensively.
So
Yeah,
are Dash and Kin gonna be the only ones on the ship title?
And actually, Dash says, "Anyone else?
Yeah.
If you want to." He puts his hands on his side, just like looking at the other three.
Zian doesn't really care, but if it helps, like, for that sense of ownership with everybody, he's fine with it.
I guess.
Ownership.
I guess if that's the reason, like, yeah, like Mouse kind of feels the same way. Like, if she doesn't really care about owning the ship so much as she does, like, this is kind of like a gesture to solidify our dynamic, I guess.
Right, the crew,
as
right?
like, as a group. Or crew.
Yeah. Jax is like, if the rest of you guys are doing it, I'm with you. Like, I'll put my name on it.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that, like, after the talking and trying to determine whether or not Kin mattered in the grand scheme of things, putting.
He didn't. I was just questioning the name. What?
It's not your fault. No, like.
I just blew dust out of my fingers.
Okay. I thought you were shushing.
Sorry.
Gotta keep the lore.
But
K1NN.
Gotta keep the lore.
Yeah, gotta keep the lore. Exactly, the lore. It's important.
It is.
So the group of you, putting all your names on the register. I think we get the scene of filing the paperwork, and it goes through the system, and the attendant, who's probably I don't know, some alien, because I can't think of a race right now. Actually, it's probably a Drell. You're on Corellia. So a Drell attendant, exactly, takes it and is reviewing, and you can tell that this Drell does this a million times a day, so just doesn't even care, just registers, you gave me the credits, checks the credits, makes sure they're official, and then just stamps an approval, and then slides it over, and then you see there's a title, right, and it has the close call, right, and E9 scout ship, and then it has all of your names listed as owners of that vehicle. Yeah, owners and crew. Mm-hmm.
I want to imagine the Drell doesn't completely see over the counter, just the top of its head.
Yeah, no. There's there's probably a moment where the Drell has to get up on a couple of a step stool, right?
Yeah.
Gets up on some stairs that are made specifically for the Drell to take the thing, and then gets back down and has to walk over to the other side with the thing, and then walks back over and climbs back up the staircase and hands it back over to you guys. Absolutely.
The Mouse is like, oh my god, it's so cute.
Look who's talking.
It's got little spectacles on too, just sitting across its big wide nose.
You're really triggering Toasty here.
I know that Toasty really wants to play mouse guard, so I'm just gonna play that aspect up.
You know what? I wouldn't mind if we played mouse guard.
Exactly.
I would totally join that game.
So yeah, you guys get your ship registered. Congratulations. Apparently we didn't want to go with the Jax contact thing, but that's fine.
No, thank you.
Getting it done officially is probably better in the long run.
So you see, I imagine we get some kind of we have this on a data pad or something that we can look at.
Yeah, there's an official document that's sent to all of you. So you all have you all probably get a little. In fact, it's probably a little holo card, right? There's a little physical card that says, probably has the name of the ship, the identification number, and you as being an owner of the ship. The other reason why this is a good thing, though, is that all of you are on the ship. Is let's say your ship gets impounded. Any of you can go get it out because all of you are technically owners. So if your ship gets impounded and then Dash is arrested or locked up somewhere, any of you could still go get the ship. That's the other good aspect of this particular path that you guys have taken.
So as we exit the office or whatever, you see a kind of creepy scene. Kin is standing with his ownership card, kind of showing it to the protocol droid head.
Yeah.
It's like, see, it's official. We can own things.
Yeah, you're like you're totally Hamleting it, right? Where like you just have it in your hand. You're like, look, it's official. Yeah, it's great.
I'm kind of standing with my back to the rest of the party and like trying to hide it, but yeah.
Yeah, we get the scene of like the other 4 members like looking and then like looking at each other and then looking at Ken and then looking at each other again and then the scene dies off.
I don't think this. Yeah, I think everybody else is looking. I think this is normal for Mouse. Like
Yeah.
Ken's already has this like these kind of fancies. So yeah, she's like just treating it as normal.
Yeah. So Jax, you need to go meet with a contact, right?
Yeah. So
a representative.
I say, all right, guys. I'm gonna go meet up with some contacts. I'll catch you later.
Okay.
Should we meet? Should we? I don't think I need help right now, thanks though. But should we maybe meet up at the cantina in about 2 hours?
Oh my gosh, there's a cantina? I've never been to a cantina. Yeah, let's go to a cantina.
Oh boy. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Sounds great. I know a pretty okay one.
Pretty okay one.
Okay, what's the name?
Honestly, I think that's the best way to describe a cantina is pretty okay. That's like a big compliment, I think.
Jax likes cantinas. Jax thinks all cantinas are absolutely brilliant.
All cantinas are okay.
Yeah. All right. See you guys in a couple hours.
Okay. So Jax, you take off and head off in the direction of where you're supposed to meet this individual, which could be anywhere. You know, probably like maybe it's like a back alley, right? Maybe we get the back alley scene similar from like Rogue One, right? Where like you meet with somebody in a back alley and you have your pack with you or whatever, or the data that you're carrying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you know the individual you're meeting, or were you just told to come?
Yeah. So from what I remember, there was an individual, a former contact of mine who I'm like decent friends with, who's the person that actually hooked me up with the job to do the salvage mission in the first place.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Because they were the one who told me that there was an Arcana ship that had gone missing. So that's who I'm gonna go meet up with.
All right. So his name's probably Harvey. And
Harvey's a good man.
And Harvey, yeah, he's probably he's human. He's probably a bit of a I think he gives off that kind of nerdy intellectual vibe, but kind of one of those like, have you ever seen a nerd or an intellectual or a gamer that's like goes to the gym and like works out and is kind of buff? So like their physical appearance kind of looks off. But when they start talking and like the things that they're knowledgeable about are very clearly like a lot of techie stuff.
Yeah.
So I think like you see Harvey just kind of like leaning up against the wall in the alleyway, just kind of like looking around, looks very intimidating. But then when you come up, he's like, "So, how was the trip?"
It was. I'm hearing the creepy pervert from GTA right now when you make that voice, and I can't get that image out of my head.
You mean Lester?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, God damn Lester.
I said, yeah, it was interesting.
Did you find what you were looking for?
I did. Is there somewhere we can talk? Preferably with a data pad or something. I have some things I want to show you.
Yeah, he kind of like he nods his head to like walk deeper into the alleyway, and you find yourself in like back behind a bunch of like shops and restaurants and stuff where there's not a whole lot of traffic. The noise of like the busy streets kind of dies down a little bit.
Cool. Yeah. So so I found the ship. I tried to get some of the supplies off of it, but before I could load them onto our ship, we ran into some complications. So I had to leave the salvage behind. But I did manage to get this, and I take out the hard drives that and all the discs and stuff that Mouse has extracted for me.
Yeah, so
you know I'm not the best with computers, so I figured I'd just bring you the computer.
yeah, I think exactly what he does is like he takes the hard drives and he kind of like sits down right there in the alleyway, and he like flings his little he's like wearing like a messenger bag. He like slides it over and he opens it up, and there's like a full on like computer inside. And he pulls out some cables and starts plugging them into the hard drives. And then you see it start running through, and now it's basically like an MS-DOS system, right? There's no actual images. It's just a bunch of words and letters and symbols like flying across the screen. And you can see he's just like reading. He's like, "Yes, this is good. This is exactly what we need. They'll be happy with you about this."
Good. I was wondering if you've heard of what Folis has been up to recently. I know he hasn't been with the Syndicate for a while, but I have some things I want to talk to him about, if you know where he's at.
Can't say that I do. Not sure where we're going to go from here with this, but as far as that particular individual, as you say, he hasn't been with the Syndicate for some time. So,
Alright, well, if you could keep, I guess I'm signed up with a crew now, so I'll be looking after myself, but if you hear anything or if you need anything, let me know. You know the deal.
I was supposed to relay a message to you at the very least. And he kind of like, as he closes it, he closes and he kind of like gets more serious, and you can tell the demeanor changes, and he goes, "The Syndicate is wondering what you can do for them. This job is certainly going to make an impact, but we need an active goal, let's say, for you. They don't want to do much dealing with you yet, but anything you can find on your own would be useful, beneficial, let's say."
Okay, I can do that.
Check out some of this remnant space. I don't know if we should go there.
Good. I'll pass along the fact that you are aware, at least, that they'll be looking for more from you, whatever that may be. Anything else you needed, Jax?
From your conversations with them, are they looking for more than just what happened to my team?
I think, yeah, there's a long pause, and he kind of like looks directly at you, and then he says, "Anything that you can bring that is useful to the Syndicate will be rewarded."
I nod my head and kind of go to walk off, and I just walk off actually.
Okay. Yeah. So as you depart, we see like he opens up that computer again, and he kind of looks at it, and we see like there's a line of text and symbols that we can't read. It's not that it's in like a different language, but it's basically like trying to read binary or some shit like that. Kin could probably read it. But it's like blinking, and we get a translation on screen. That it says it is a list of coordinates. And we see that Harvey kind of smiles and closes the computer again, and walks off in the other direction, opposite direction of Jax. And that's all we see there. So, for the rest of the group, for Dash and Kin and Mouse, and Zian, is there anything specific that you guys would like to accomplish at the city?
Yeah, beyond just the repair of the protocol droid, which I don't think I'm going to be able to accomplish because it's going to cost a bit. I don't have that much credits.
No, but I'm thinking Kid wants to go with junk shop. If we can get some shoddy parts, at least.
Yeah, like I'm going to try that. But beyond that, I do have that mysterious data pad. And that's basically my only lead right now as far as to what happened to Vlom.
Yeah.
Because the Remnant seem to be looking for that data pad or that data.
Right.
So I need to find out what they know.
And how would you go about getting that or doing that?
I mean, I guess Mouse is kind of not very suited to espionage, I guess. So she just kind of asked like, you know, if she went to like a junk place, she'd be like, "Hey, do you know anybody who could like unlock a data pad, like get past the encryption
Actually,
and
what
stuff?"
would that be?
So
As-
as Mouse says that, Kin is just slowly turning his head mechanically and just in complete. He can't understand that she would be that naive.
Yeah, it's just like the slow head turn, and then like the slight. It's your head's just like slightly sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the human at the junk shop is probably like, I don't deal with computers very much. You're gonna have to ask somebody else. Maybe try and find yourself a slicer.
I mean, do you know a slicer?
Not really in my line of work. If I find anything, usually I just send it to one of my buddies who might know somebody, and he kind of like he probably like pulls out like a map or something, like on his like a little hollow map pops up, and he probably like marks a location and sends it to your pad to go find.
Easy. Thanks. Yeah. I guess this was in the middle of shopping, so she'd be like, "Also, can I get this compressor unit? This thing looks awesome."
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh yeah, no problem." So you're looking for parts specifically to buy for the droid, right? How much money are you going to spend?
So what I'm thinking is, Kin has about 125 credits. Should be now after paying for chip register. But he also has a rifle that he would be willing to trade.
Okay. Yeah. Your sling thrower rifle, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he'll definitely take a trade on that. It wouldn't be for full market value though. It's a junk shop first of all.
And what we're looking for, we already have the head and central processor.
Yeah, you have the expensive part.
Yeah, I'm thinking it should be around, I don't know, 300 credits.
Yeah, that's actually exactly what I was thinking. Around 300 to get like enough parts to make a.
I'm kind of just looking for almost like a mouse droid that we can mount the head on.
Yeah, basically like that's
non-mobile, like just like a torso essentially.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. That I think is exactly within the range of what I was thinking as well. So, your slow thrower rifle, it's in pretty good condition. He'd probably give you like 175 credits for your slow thrower rifle, little bit above half.
Yeah, and I pitch in the rest of my credits. So I get the parts that I need, and I'm broke.
Now you're broke.
Yeah.
You know who else is broke? Okay, cool. Absolutely. That's 100% a thing that you can do.
Cool.
So, Mouse, does that cover your thing as well? You want to go over and talk to this guy that he sends all his computer parts to, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that you when you get there, it's actually probably, I said guy, but it's probably a woman. And she, when you walk in, she looks like your typical like slicer computer tech. She's got like goggles on her head. Her hair is kind of cut short, shoulder length. She's got kind of like a narrow kind of hawk-like, but like hard lines in her face, with dark brunette or black hair. And she's her outfit, she's wearing kind of like a jumpsuit, but she's got like a bandolier, and you can tell like on the bandolier there's a bunch of like little tiny like screwdrivers and parts to disassemble stuff. And she's got like a wrist mounted hollow device that you can tell she uses as like a compad / data pad device, and she's probably like working on it when you come in, and there's like a little hollow screen like up in front of her face. And as she sees the group of you walk in, she closes down. She says, how can I help you?
Hi. I have this data pad. And it's got some encryption on it. And I'm not really a slicer, so I was wondering if maybe you could help me with that?
Well, I don't do things for free, you know.
Well, I mean, of course, nobody does. But I mean, I was wondering if you could do it.
Give it here. We'll see what I can do. She
Alright.
kind of like you hand it over. She sets it on the counter. She pulls like a little a wire out from her little wrist-mounted device, and she plugs it into the data pad. And you see her begin typing some things. I'm actually gonna make a check for her, and I'm also, because I got to start using these, and we haven't made any checks yet. I'm gonna use a destiny point.
Dark side.
Yeah,
What?
dark side is heavily influenced here. This. And her check is going to be... She's pretty good at what she does. Not best, though. And I'm going to give her a boost dice because she's using her own stuff. And it's going to be a hard check here. And then, in addition to the dark side point, I think I'm also going to add a black dice to her roll, simply because she's working with a device that she knows nothing about. So while she has her own stuff, it's a boost dice. She's working with a device she knows nothing about. So it's going to be that black dice added in there. And I'm going to roll it.
Oh, nothing.
So, unfortunately, in fact, it's hilarious to say, but that upgrade is probably what did it there. Or actually, the black dice is probably what did it there. So I think that, yeah, you see, like, there's a bunch of, like, it comes to, like, meh, meh, like the bad noise that you get from Star Wars computers. It's like, meh, 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 meh. And she's like, interesting. Well, I don't know exactly how I can do it, but I can at least lead you on the right path. And with the 2 advantage, what she's going to do is she's going to say, well, you'll have to find someone at least more skilled or with different stuff than me, but I can at least identify that this appears to be, and she kind of like, she looks up at you when she says this, and she says, appears to be a remnant encryption of some sort. And
yeah.
it's possible you might have to find a specialist in that sort of thing, as you can understand. And she kind of like looks around her kind of like computer parts junk shop thing. She's like, I'm not quite the best at solving these riddles in particular.
Did she seem a little scared by it being a remnant encryption?
She didn't seem scared, but she was like looking at you like, you know, what are you into that I'm having to do this now? Like, kind of, I would say bemused. She's far enough in the Commonwealth, she doesn't really have a whole lot to fear from Remnant, right?
Yeah.
But I think that, like, the fact that you have this and the fact that it's coming in here, you think that if I had rolled any threat or despair, that might be bad, because she would be intrigued enough to follow up.
Yeah.
But for now, she's just kind of like, okay, that's, you know, that's really sketchy. I think that's what she's implying too here, right? Is like, maybe you shouldn't be showing this to everybody. Like, I'm not going to say anything, but the next person you find might say something about you having some remnant encrypted data pad on you.
Yeah, okay. I mean, like, Mouse isn't, I don't know, like, Mouse isn't dumb, but she's not espionage oriented, so she doesn't know where to take this. Like, it's...
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, now if we've exited, it's like, other character I would say who has a higher computer rank from all of us, and in character I'd say,
it's probably Mouse.
Well, maybe, just Dash, just to humor the situation, say, you know, I'm not good with computers, but give it to me. I think I've heard of a few encryptions here there back in what do military personnel study basically? What type of
as a
schools?
pilot, you probably wouldn't study a whole lot on this particular thing.
Have I heard of encryptions during my education?
So again, probably only to the fact of how to lock your ship and not lock your ship.
You know what? I'm just gonna humor the situation and do it.
So the way that this works is, or the way that it works in the military at the very least, is the fact that when you get trained in the military, you get trained for your extremely specific job. and you know nothing about anybody else's jobs. So unless you were like actually in that realm of what you're supposed to be doing, then no. But I'll certainly allow you to try a computer's check.
And I'm gonna use the only light side dice pool.
Well, that's a fine.
The...
Because I'm also using the only. I'm using another dark side.
Isn't it up to Mouse though?
It's up to Mouse if she wants to let this happen. Yes.
Because I'm assuming like a bad roll could mean negative thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like you know, Mouse. You would know this. If somebody fucks up while trying to get into it, they could fry the whole data pad. Like that's 100% a thing that could happen.
Yeah, Dash. I think I should take it to a specialist. You know, computers are temperamental, and if you mess up, like, we could lose all this data, and I don't think I can handle that.
He looks at the data pad and her and just nods. Yeah, you're right. No time for experimentation.
And Kin will walk over to the shop owner. We were never.
Do you wave your hand as well? Do you do we were never here and like wave your hand?
No, I'm just there, standing tall over and looking down.
Yeah. Do you want to try and intimidate her?
Yeah, I can do
coerce her, I should say.
Coercion roll. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just going to be an average check.
Yeah.
This is gonna get someone out of
I'm not that bad.
And then we had to run away from the authorities on Corellia.
All right.
Yeah,
set up.
Yep. Roll when you're ready. Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
So take 2 strain here, and I think the strain is representative of like Mouse has been so blasé with this, and you're like trying to cover up like
starting
this.
To freak out.
Yeah. And so I think she kind of like puts her hands up. And she's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'd be in this just as much trouble as everyone else should I know this. You have nothing to fear from me." And she kind of like goes back to like typing on her little hollow slab and like blatantly ignoring you like on purpose.
No, but I'm looking at her and say, no, would be a lot more trouble.
Yeah, and I think she just kind of like holds her hand up and she's like,
faster.
Yeah, I think she's like, she gives you the signal of like, I really don't want to hear anymore because I don't want to be involved, so stop talking, please. Yeah, you definitely think that you're good with her. She's not going to go spilling the beans to anybody.
All right, let's go find a better specialist. She says as she goes.
Yeah, that'll definitely.
Not meaning offense.
Yeah, that would definitely require some research, and even I would venture to say Corellia's may not even be the best place for that. Particular subject. Might want to write that down in the notes for next time you guys need something to do. Maybe we should go find a specialist to figure out this data pad thing. But Zian, I want to jump to you real quick because I want to make sure that you get. You've been kind of silently observing this entire exchange of things.
Zian's kind of like chuckling to himself in like a way, but also very disapproving of what just happened. When we're outside of this area and we're less obvious, he's going to kind of not berate, but use harsher tones from his very peaceful tones, like, which is still not like harsh at all. It's just for him. It's like there are definitely better ways to accomplish your goals like that, droid.
His name's Ken.
Ken, how do you reply to that?
There are less direct routes.
I mean, why would you say we were never here in the first place? I don't understand.
And
The
there's
kid
naive
just
mouse.
looks at you and then looks at Xian and then looks at you again and just starts walking again.
Continues walking.
Okay.
Zian turns to Mouse and he's like, Miss Mouse, I feel you might need to get a handle on your droid there.
He's not my droid. His name's Ken, and he's his own person.
But droids are property.
I'm not anyone's.
Oh, that's not true. He's not my property. He's my friend.
Intriguing.
How would you like it if you were somebody's property?
But I am a flesh and blood being.
Yeah, so? What does that have to do with anything?
Dash is going to slither away, not wanting to be part of this conversation.
Now here's the question: is how much does Zian?
Yeah. I think like I would say, Zian, if you like want to push this, it might incur some conflict.
Yeah.
But it's obviously within your character to push that.
So I have a question. Zian, have you told us anything about the Force, or the only thing we've seen?
Have no idea.
No, and everything I've done has failed so far.
Yeah. So you haven't. Well, yeah.
I also am walking around with a lightsaber at my belt, but I have a cloak on over everything, so.
Yeah. Wait, you have a lightsaber? I thought you.
Well,
I just wear a cloak.
To be fair,
not working.
It's like a metal pipe. That
to be fair, he's basically got a piece of metal at his side that doesn't do anything.
Technically, I think it can power.
It's engraved in Togrutan with a like kind of a Togrutan proverb thing, but you guys wouldn't know that.
It's some kind of priest.
The Togrutan proverb is droids are scum.
It's basically the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Oh, thanks, Hawk.
Perfect.
I feel like we're going to have a philosophical discussion later between our characters.
Anyway,
so yeah,
that's our other philosophical discussion.
Yeah. So Zian, like it's up to you. But it's obvious that at least one of your party members feels strongly about this in one way.
Yeah, I think that's
Ken is hovering just close enough to hair.
I think mostly in Mouse's case, it's more the slavery conceit than it is
absolutely
the whole droids as people conceit, because Mouse was a slave, and
like the false for synth as people argument. It's like, are they people? Are they just machines?
Right. Yep.
And I think that's a like a kind of fallback moment where if he pushes too far, he's going to reveal something, and he's not. It's not like he's a fierce racist or anything like that. He just doesn't. In the context of the Force, they don't exist, and that's where kind of that disconnect is. Absolutely. So I think he's just kind of like nods and kind of leaves the point there.
Yeah, you get the Jedi like, oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Answer.
Yeah. Mouse makes a face at him, like just like the most like I'm watching you face, like that Mouse.
Please tell me you do the two fingers to your eyes and then like point at.
I kind of feel like Mouse would stick her tongue out.
Like Mouse.
You like the finger under the eye and sticking the tongue out?
Yeah, like something like that. Mouse is kind of a child a little bit. So yeah, she would kind of, I guess, I don't know, stick her tongue out or whatever.
Yeah. So eventually, the time is up for you all to meet up with Jax at the cantina. Now let me quickly Google random cantina name, because
random.
No, I think Dash.
Or Dash, yeah. What's the name of the cantina that you lead everybody to?
Treasure Ship Row.
Cantina 1.
Broken
Blaster sounds great.
Yeah.
So you all get up to the Broken Blaster, and as you all are arriving there, Jax, you probably beat everybody there by quite some time, so you have your chance to kind of like get a table and wait for everybody to return, because I think that
a drink.
And a drink, yeah, of course. I think that again, the next goal is to figure out what the heck you guys are gonna do next, right? That's
also
the
at some point on our journey, I want to have sent out a message.
Oh yes,
just
absolutely.
So that's like recorded in. Hey, we did this.
Yeah, absolutely. I will get that from you, but in just a moment. But the first thing I want to do is you all arrive at the cantina, and you all take your seats, and everybody begins the order food, and it's kind of later on in the day, maybe like early evening, late afternoon, so it's a little bit less busy in here, but it's starting to pick up for the late lunch, early dinner crowd. And the music's playing. We have typical cantina music playing in the background that we all know and love. Exactly. Literally, there's only one song that ever plays in any cantina ever in Star Wars, just so you guys are aware. And
it's different for the Huts because they actually don't like mundane. It's like those.
Music. As you all are sitting in there, I'm gonna spend a dark side point just to make this happen.
Can I have a suggestion? I think it's a Max Rebo tribute band playing.
I'm sorry, what?
Max Rebo tribute band.
Not if it's the that'd be a Figure and Dan tribute band.
But I would rather be a Max.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but then you have to listen to Jedi Rocks.
So
not the enhanced version.
As you all are sitting in there, the doors burst open and light kind of floods in, and the music kind of screeches to a halt a little bit, right? Like record scratch. And you see an older man. He looks probably a bit crazed, or maybe homeless, kind of. His beard is kind of overgrown and like grayish black, and his hair is long. It kind of like spills out over his ears and down to his neck. He's wearing like a kind of a ragged overcloak, and underneath it you can see where he's got almost not rags, but you can see like his shirt is stained in a couple of places, and he's wearing like a belt around, and you can tell that the belt has a holster, but it's empty, like there's no blaster in the holster. And as he bursts in, he kind of looks like he's interrupted all these people, and he kind of trots in and closes the door behind him, like kind of quickly, and like kind of peeks out a little bit, and then looks around the room. And Dash, you lock eyes with him, and you realize that this is your mentor, the one who's been trying to reach you and get help from you.
So
Dash, no, hold on. Before you get to do anything, he recognizes you, you recognize him, and we go to break.
Yeah.
Oh,
you just break time.
Gonna get something to drink.
I'm gonna get something to eat.
Let's be back at 15 after.
Okay.
Cool.
To make it a little bit of an extendo break here, and we'll see all that, and we'll see what happens with this interesting development. All right, stream. Glad you all could be here for episode number 3. We're gonna get into some action, I would say, in the second half here, and hope you all are enjoying. We'll see you in a few minutes. Enjoy the music.